Shigontinatarinam. Narayanam namaskritam naram cheva narotam devim sarasvatam vyasam tato jamudirayat. Nastya sabatresu nityam bhagavata sevya bhagavata tamaspi bhakti bhakti naistiki. Omakyanati mandasya tsananchana smakya sakshurnitam yena tasmai sigurave namah. Namo Vihe-Bhaktivedanta Sarasvati Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini. Namaste Sarasvati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Srimvadi Paskachari Dasatani. Today we will discuss Canto 10, Chapter 26, Wonderful Krishna, text 1 to 25, till the end of the chapter. So, all the Gopas, they have seen how Krishna had been upholding the hill for 7 days. This, they understood, was extraordinary. And when they saw this extraordinary event of Krishna holding the hill, they were staring at Krishna thinking that this is the most wonderful thing. So, the coward man was described in this chapter 6 in the first verse. They were astonished that they were amazed, shockingly amazed. It was a little shock to their system. The word Ati Vishmata is used. Very astonished, very amazed. Text 1. Shishuka vacha evam vidani karmani kopa krishnasya vikshate ataveya vida pochu samapyatya suvishmita. Sukadeva Goswami said, the coward men were astonished when they saw Krishna's activities, such as lifting Govardhan hill. Unable to understand his transcendental potency, they approached Nanda Maharaj and spoke as follows. We read the comment of Srila Vishwanath Bhakti. In this chapter, Nanda Maharaj describes Krishna's opulences, as he had heard of them from Garga Muni, in order to remove the doubts of the coward man in Krishna's powers. Because all the Vrajavasis were immersed in tasting the sweetness of Krishna while he lifted Govardhan hill, the opportunity to think about Krishna's astonishing power did not arise. They were too focused in their ecstatic relationship with Krishna under the hill. So, no time to think. But afterwards, when they returned to their homes, they all began to have a doubt. Thus, they thought, now we have directly seen child Krishna lift Govardhan hill, and we remember how he killed Put and other demons, extinguished the fire, forest fire, and so on. So all these demons that Krishna killed will be again come up in this chapter. The coward man will remind themselves of all these superhuman events that so they will put them in sequence, we will hear them. It's good for us to remember all these extraordinary pastimes of Krishna. That so, of course, it was start with Bhutan, the Sakata demon, Trinavarta, the Damodar and the Arjun trees, Bakasur, that and so on. So now we have directly seen Krishna lift Govardhan Hill, and we remember how he killed Bhutan and other demons, extinguished the forest fire and so on. At that time we thought that these extraordinary acts occurred because of a benediction from the Brahmins, or because of Nanda Maharaj's great fortune, or that perhaps this boy had achieved the mercy of Lord Narayan and was thus empowered by him. But all these presumptions are false, because an ordinary 7-year-old boy could never hold up the king of mountains for 7 whole days. Krishna is not a human being. He must be the Supreme Lord himself. So they have doubts. At one side, Krishna does these extraordinary, superhuman activities, but at the other side, he's acting as a human being. That they say, but on the other hand, Child Krishna loves it when we coddle him, and he becomes morose when we, his father, mother, aunts, uncles, and well-wishers, simply worldly coward men, do not give him attention. He appears to become hungry and thirsty, steals yogurt and milk, and sometimes plays tricks, blatantly tells lies, chatters childishly, and tends the calves. If he is actually the Supreme Lord, why would he do such things? Don't they indicate that he is an ordinary human child? So they have these two sides at the same time, and they are doubting. We are totally unable to establish the truth of Krishna's entity. Therefore, let us go inquire from the highly intelligent king of Raj, Nanda Maharaj, and he shall free us from our doubts. Thinking in this way, the coward man entered Nanda Maharaj's great assembly hall and questioned him as described in the following verse. So what will Nanda Maharaj reply? He will reply the words of Garga Muni, what Garga Muni said about Krishna during the name-giving ceremony. Mostly avatars, if we look at the avatars, they take birth in Brahman families or Kshatriya families. So this is extraordinary. So in the next verse, they describe some of the astonishing feats. These events are like keys opening the door of remembering Krishna. Also for us, they are keys of remembering Krishna. And that, so the first thing they are going to say is what they just saw, what happened. That, so now we have text. Text 2 and 3. The coward man said, "Since this boy performs such extraordinary activities, how could he warrant a birth among worldly men like us? a birth that for him would seem contemptible. How could this 7-year-old boy playfully hold up the Govardhan hill with one hand, just as a mighty elephant holds up a lotus flower? So we should all do an exercise here. Try to remember these pastimes that you will hear and link them together in your mind, somewhere, so that we remember all these pastimes one after another. Text 4. Tatena militaksena putanaya mayatyasa pittastana sahapanai kalaneva verstano. As a mere infant who had hardly yet opened his eyes, he drank the breast milk of the power demoness Putan, and then sucked out her very life air as well, just as the force of time sucks out the youth of one's body. Purport. The word Vaya in this verse indicates youth or lifespan in general. With irresistible power, time takes away our life, and that time is actually Lord Krishna himself. Thus in the case of powerful witch Putan, Lord Krishna accelerated the time process, and within an instant reduced the duration of her life. Here the coward man meant to say, how could a mere infant who could barely open his eyes so easily kill a very powerful demoness? So, the whole mood of their sitting together with Nanda Maharaj is ecstatic absorption of remembering Krishna's pastimes. The mood is, why is it possible that this child performs these activities? How is this possible? So the next is the Sakata demon, the Kaart demon. So in our remembrance, how can we link Putan with the Sakata demon? Putan, when she was, I just give an example, you can link it the way you want. But Putan gets her Rakshasi body becomes manifest when she leaves her body, and it's a huge body. And the Kaart demon, and suddenly you see that body disappear. It becomes formless. Sakata demon, his body is formless. Brings us to the next. In our mind we link it some way or another, that just with the purpose to remember. So link one pastime with another. So the next demon, Sakata demon, Invantoda Sayanasya Masyasya Charana Buddha Anopatat Vipayastam Uddata Papadanatam. Once, when only 3 months old, little Krishna was crying and kicking up his feet as he lay beneath a huge cart. Then the cart fell and turned upside down simply because it was struck by the tip of his toe. Now, Shiva Goswami says that the Sakata demon was formless. Bhutan tried to kill Krishna while she was in a form, so he thought, Sakata thought, let me become formless. In his formless state he was hovering, and Krishna saw him. In that formless state he entered the cart as a demon, and he became non-different from the cart. Because the demon was in the cart, the weight of the demon was so heavy, he forced the cart down and kicked him with his... And so Krishna forced the cart down and kicked the demon with his lotus feet, and the whole cart shuddered when Krishna kicked with his lotus feet, and then all these pots and all the paraphernalia of the cart, they fell down with loud noises, and all the coward men were astonished. No, text. So the Sakata demon was hovering in his formless state, but in the next demon, the next demon will hover very high in the sky, Trina Varta. So that's the next link we make. Yes. Eka ayana ashino Veyamano vihayasa Daityanaya strina vartam Aham kantakahatum. At age of 1, while sitting peacefully, he was taken up into the sky by the demon Trina Vartam. But baby Krishna grabbed the demon's neck, causing him great pain, and thus killed him. Purport. The coward man who loved Krishna as an ordinary child were astonished by all these activities. A newborn infant cannot ordinarily kill a powerful witch, and one would hardly think that a 1-year-old boy could kill a demon, could kill a demon who has kidnapped him and carried him up into the sky. But Krishna did all these wonderful things, and the coward men were enhancing their love for him by remembering and discussing his activities. Of course, during the passing of the Trinavarta demon, that Krishna was just a baby, was growing into a toddler. And we know that he became very heavy, Mother Yasoda had to put him down. But his form at that age is called Damodar. So next, the next demon, or the next pastime, not demon, it is not a demon, but he will liberate the Manijriva and his brother. He will liberate them from their engagement in these big Arjuna trees. So we connect Trinavarta and Damodar, that These Arjuna trees were very big. They could grow up to 27 meters, even today. They're very huge, very, very big trees. So we will hear So once his mother tied him with ropes to a mortar because he had caught him stealing butter. Then crawling on his hands, he dragged the mortar between the pair of Arjuna trees and pulled them down, pulling down a toddler and these huge trees, he pulls them down. Purport. The two Arjuna trees were old and thick, and they towered above little Krishna's courtyard. Nevertheless, they were pulled down quite easily by the naughty giant. So this is another amazing pastime, where Krishna gets the name Damodar. Is spelled by ropes that by Mother Yasoda. A very sweet pastime, so many details that you can read these details in Shivaram's book on Mother Yasoda's mood. It's very, very inspiring. And after Damodar, Krishna will start herding the cows, first the calves, the cow. And there will kill Bakasur. Vanesham Sarayan Vatsam Sharam o Balakevitam Hantukamam Bakam Dohyam Mukaturim Apatayat. Another time when Krishna was tending the calves in the forest together with Balaram and the cowboys, the demon Bakasur came with the intention of killing Krishna. But Krishna seized this inimical demon by the mouth and tore him apart. Bakasur had bad association with karma, with Kamsa. So that's 9. This is Vatsasur. Vatsesha Vatsarupena Pavastam Chiramsaya Hatvanya Patayatena Kapitani Salilaya. Desiring to kill Krishna, the demon Vatsa disguised himself as a calf and entered among Krishna's calves. But Krishna killed the demon and using his body enjoyed the sport of knocking kapita fruits down from the trees. That is the Vatsasur. And then the next one, text 10. Atvara Shabadetyenam Tadpadum Sabalam Vita Shakreta Lavanam Kshemam Parivakva Phalam Vitam. Together with Lord Balaram, Krishna killed the jackass demon and all the friends, thereby securing the safety of the Talaban forest, which abounded with fully ripened palm fruits, the jackass demon, the ass demon. Purport. Long, long ago, the powerful demons Hiranyakasipu and Hiranyaksha were born of the goddess Diti. Therefore, demons are called Daityas or Daityas, meaning the sons of Diti. Renukasur, the ass demon, terrorized the Tala forest with his friends. But Sri Krishna and Sri Balaram killed them, just as modern governments kill terrorists who are as innocent people. Hare Krishna. And text 11 is another kind of demon. Pralambam gayat vitfugram palena balasalina amosyat vachapasum gopam sharanyavanita. After arranging for the mighty Lord Balaram to kill the terrible demon Pralamba, Krishna saved Vraja's cowherd boys and their animals from a forest fire. Then we have the forest fire. Was eating the fire that and then after and then we have the next one, Kaliya. Asivista Mahindrin Main Asivisata Mahindram Tamitvavidamam Radat Pashayot Vasya Yamunam Shakrisa Yavisodakam. Krishna chastised the most poisonous serpent, Kaliya, and after humbling, he drove him forcibly from the lake of the Yamuna. He drove him out. In this way, the Lord made the water of that river free of the snake's powerful poison. That and text 13. Tustyaya sanaragosmin vasarvesham havachakasam nandate teyanasmasu tasya atpatika katam. Dear Nanda, how is it that we and all the other residents of Vraj cannot give up our constant affection for your son? How is it that he is so spontaneously attracted to us? So despite Krishna's unlimited powers, still the residents of Vrindavan love him. So he may have all these powers, but they still love him. They cannot keep their minds away from him. Even more amazingly, Krishna is attracted to them. He is the lover of his devotees. He's completely captivated by the love of his devotees. It can't be an ordinary boy, they say to Nanda Maharaj. Look what he has done. All these demons killing and so on. That, so we will first read the purport of 13. The very word Krishna means the all-attractive one. The residents of Vrindavan could not give up their constant love, anuraga. They could not give up their constant love for Krishna. Their attitude toward him was not particularly theistic because they were unsure whether he was God or not. But he attracted all their love precisely because as God is the all-attractive person, the supreme object of our love. The coward man also asked, how is it that young Krishna feels such constant love for us? In fact, the Supreme Lord loves all living beings who are eternally his children. At the end of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna dramatically declares his affection for Arjuna and urges Arjuna to reciprocate that love by surrendering to him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his prayers to Lord Krishna states, Etadvisita Bhagava Kripa Bhagavan Mamapi Durudevam Itvisam Iyajanuna Nuraga. My Lord, you are so merciful towards me. But I'm so unfortunate that love for you has not awakened within me. Second verse. In this statement, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also uses the word anuraga, or misfortune. Our misfortune is that we cannot reciprocate the anuraga, or loving affection, that the Lord feels for us, although we are infinitesimal and insignificant. And the Lord is infinitely attractive. Somehow we do not give him our love. We must accept responsibility for this foolish decision, since to surrender to God or not is an essential expression of our free will. Krishna Consciousness Movement provides an efficient, systematic program to help conditioned souls revive their original blissful consciousness, which is love of God. Krishna consciousness. The intricacies of Krishna consciousness are so wonderful that even Krishna's eternal associates, the residents of Vrindavan, are astonished by them, as shown by these verses. So who remembers all the demons? Someone from memory? Someone wants to try to tell us all the demons or extraordinary feats Krishna has done one after another? Yes, Mother Kasturba.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Putana, killing of the Putana, then Satakasura, then Trinavatra, then sorry, I wrote that. Then is the Damodar Leela, then is the Bakasura, Vatsasura, then they mention Kaliya and lifting the Govardhan hill.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, I forgot Pralambasura and forest fire. Sorry.
And the Jackasura demon, Dhenukasura, and the forest fire was also there. Thank you, that was a brilliant attempt. Thank you.
Maharaj, but why didn't speak about Agasura, killing of Agasura?
Agasura, that it's interesting because the coward boys did also not speak about it when they went back. Only 1 year later, and therefore it was 1 year later. Maybe they were not so fixed on that pastime. I don't know that, but there are a few others. Yeah, that they didn't mention all of them.
Isn't it that the cowherd boys weren't actually there? They didn't actually witness the killing of Agasura?
Yeah, they were in the mouth of Agasura, so they didn't see it. But
no, but that. Oh, sorry, I'm getting confused in the timing. That wasn't when the Brahma Vimohan Leela was after the killing of Agasura, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I got confused.
Yeah, that was after it. Okay, so let us try to remember all these pastimes. That now, text 15, Nanda Maharaj is going to reply. That and he will reply what Gargamuni said. So in the 8th chapter, let's see, we can go there. The 8th chapter. We have Gargamuni, Gargacharya, from verse 13 till 18. This Gargamuni speaks. Let's hear that again. Yeah, yeah. This is what Gargamuni said. Your son appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow, and now he has appeared in a blackish color. In another Dvapara Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra in the color of Sukha, a parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna. For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appears previously as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call him Vasudeva. For the sons of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them. To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd man of Gokul, this child will always act auspiciously for you. And by his grace only you will surpass all difficulties. O Nanda Maharaj, as recorded in history, when there was an irregular, incapable government, Indra having been dethroned and people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves, this child appears in order to protect the people and enable them to flourish, and he curbs the rogues and thieves. Demons cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate, because such persons are very much affectionate toward Krishna. They cannot be defeated by demons like the associates of Kamsa. So, text 15. Now we will hear the reply of Nanda Maharaj. Verse 14, I didn't read 14. So, on the one hand, this boy is only 7 years old, and on the other, we see that he has lifted a great hill, Govardhan hill. Therefore, O King of Vraj, a doubt is about your son arises within us. So, again, these 2 things. He acts as a normal human being, he's lying, he's stealing butter, and so on. And at the other side, that he is doing these superhuman things which a human cannot do. So Nanda Maharaj replied, Sri Nanda Vacha, Shruta me vachoko pa vietu sanka savopake, enam kumaram udishya gargomeyat uvachaha. Nanda Maharaj replied, to coward man, just hear my words, and let all your doubts concerning my son be gone. Some time ago, Gargamuni spoke to me as follows about this boy. So Nanda Maharaj replied, but what was their doubt? Can someone tell me what was their doubt about Krishna?
Maharaj, their doubt was that if Krishna is really God.
Yes. Is he the Supreme Lord, or is he an ordinary boy? That is the point. We will hear now. First the third purport. We have Srila Swami's comment. The words briefly heard from Gangacharya awakened Nanda Maharaj to the truth about Krishna, and thus by Nanda's constant remembering, his activities, all doubts about their being impossible, ceased in him. Now he's instructing the cowherd man with these same words. So he will repeat these words now from Shakyamuni. He will repeat them from text 16 till 22, and I will read them all in one go first. So Gargamuni, after reading 16, but 16. Gargamuni had said, "Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation every millennium. In the past he has shown 3 different colors, white, red, and yellow, and now he appears in a blackish form. For many reasons this beautiful son of yours sometimes appeared as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call this child Vasudeva. For this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them. So to increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd man of Gokul, this child will always act for you, and by his grace only you will surpass all difficulties. O Nanda Maharaj, as recorded in history, when there are irregular, incapable government, Indra having been dethroned, and when honest people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves, this child appeared in order to curb the rogues and to protect the people and enable to flourish." So, 21. Demons cannot harm the demigods who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to the all-auspicious Krishna cannot be defeated by enemies. Therefore, Nanda Maharaj, this child of yours is as good as Narayan. In his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence, is exactly like Narayan. You should not be astonished by his activities. So after Ganga Rishi spoke these words to me, I returned home. I began to consider that Krishna, who keeps us free from trouble, is actually an expansion of Lord Narayan. Having heard Nanda Maharaj relate the statements of Gargamuni, the residents of Vrindavan became enlivened. Their perplexity was gone, and they worshipped Nanda and Lord Krishna with great respect. Read the purport of 24. Jiva Goswami explains that in this word the word Anarchu indicates that the residents of Vrindavan honored Nanda and Krishna with such offering as fragrances, garlands and garments brought from their homes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur adds that the residents of Vrindavan honored Nanda and Krishna with loving offering of jewels and gold coins. Apparently, Lord Krishna was playing in the forest when this conversation took place. So when he returned home, the residents of Vrindavan encouraged him by decorating him with beautiful yellow garments, necklaces, armlets, earrings and crowns, and by shouting, all glories to the jewel of Vrindavan." So then we have text 25, which is the conclusion of this section. Indra became angry when his sacrifice was disrupted, and thus he caused rain and hail to fall on Gokul, accompanied by lightning and powerful winds. and all of which brought great suffering to the cowards, animals, and women there. When Lord Krishna, who is by nature always compassionate, saw the condition of those who had only him as their shelter, he smiled broadly and lifted Govardhan Hill with one hand, just as a small child picks up a mushroom to play with it. Upholding the hill, he protected the coward community. May he, Govinda, the Lord of cows and the destroyer of Indra's pride, be pleased with us. Purport. The word Indra means Lord or King. In this verse, Krishna is pointedly called Indra-Gavan, the Lord of all the cows. In fact, he is the real Indra, the real ruler, everyone, and the demigods are merely his servants, representing the supreme will. So it is the real Indra. Mother Surabhi, in the next chapter, will confirm that. This will be our words. In fact, the Lord of the cows, that she will give Krishna a name. She will rename Krishna, and she will call him Govinda. Therefore, Krishna has got his name Govinda from Surabhi. That one who gives pleasure to the cows. It is apparent from this and the previous verse in this chapter that Lord Krishna's lifting of Govardhan Hill made quite an impression on the simple coward men of Vrindavan, and they repeatedly remembered his feat. Certainly, anyone who soberly and objectively considers the activities of young Krishna will surrender to him and become his eternal devotee in loving devotional service. That is the rational conclusion one should come to after reading this chapter. So, what is the essence of this last verse? Before answering, I read the verse again and tell me what, according to you, is the essence. Indra became angry when his sacrifice was disrupted, and thus he caused rain and hail to fall on Gokul, accompanied by lightning and powerful winds, all of which brought great suffering to the coward animals and women there. When Lord Krishna, who is by nature always compassionate, saw the condition of those who had only him as their shelter, he smiled broadly and lifted Govardhan Hill with one hand, just as a small child picks up a mushroom to play with it. Holding up the hill, he protected the coward community. May he, Govinda, the Lord of the cows and the destroyer of Indra's false pride, be pleased with us. So, what is the essence of this conclusion?
Maharaj, may I speak?
Yes, sure.
The last sentence indicates that this whole thing is a glorification of the Lord and a prayer that may He be pleased with us. Of course, there are other things about that He is merciful towards the Vrajavasis and other things.
That, yes,
Thank you.
that he is very merciful to the Vrajavasis. He is very inclined to it, to them, completely inclined to it. And what else? Mother Kasturba.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I was thinking how Lord is Bhaktavatsala. He cared for Indra and he destroyed his pride. He taught the importance of worshipping Govardhan and not the demigods to Brajavasis. And at the same time, he gave pleasure to all the Brajavasis, like for 7 days. So, how Lord is so, he's caring for all of them and he's reciprocating according to their need.
Yes, all good points is Bhakta-Vatsal, sure, and that appears, well, there is one more quality of Krishna or action towards his devotees that I want to hear. Mother Lalita, Priti Maya, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. It's like seeing this translation. What came to my mind is when the devotees of the Lord are put into danger, the Lord can go to any extent and perform a beautiful, like a wonderful pastimes in order to protect his devotees. It seems wonderful for us, but it is very easy task for the Lord to do such wonderful things.
Yeah, this is the word I wanted to hear, protection. Krishna protects his devotees. But, thank you. Mother Prabhupada Priya, what are your insights?
I was going to say basically the same thing that Lalita Pratimani just said, that even in the most difficult circumstances, the Lord will protect anyone who takes shelter of him, and he'll do so effortlessly. Like it's effortless. It's fun for him to do that, and smiling broadly. And so like the residents of Vrindavan, we should always pray for the Lord to be pleased with us and try our best to please him, so that he will always keep us under his shelter.
That's a nice meditation. Who speaks this verse? Who speaks this verse?
I was wondering the same thing. It seems maybe the cowherd man.
That's, well, Bhujan Prabhu made the point that there is a difference of opinion by our acharyas, so they don't agree on it. That's the only point that I know. That it could be also Sukadev. Of course, Sukadev Goswami speaks it, but because he tells it. But then who is speaking it? Is it? Yeah. That's Mother Purnamasi, please enlighten us.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
To me, it emphasizes all these verses how important it is to be Krishna conscious all the time. Although Brajvasis were Nitya Siddha, but that emphasizes more that if we are fully Krishna consciousness, we can stay out of a lot of problems.
That is.
Because they weren't hungry, they didn't feel tired, just because they were totally Krishna consciousness.
That is
they didn't suffer anything.
Yeah, that's a very good conclusion. That that's an essential point Krishna is teaching us to his past. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Tribhuvannath, Prabhu, please.
Yes, Maharaj, please accept our respectful obeisance, Maharaj.
Jai Prabhu.
Maharaj, I was just looking at this verse that Krishna giving, Indra the best benediction that one could ever think for, in spite of his arrogance. Yes, Krishna giving the best benediction. It's amazing.
Yeah, the best benediction that to everyone, that and especially to India, we will see in the next chapter that Avinash Prabhu, you want to say something more, please?
Yes, Maharaj. In the context of this question, who spoke this last verse, and also even otherwise, I was curious to know that having recounted all the that Gargacharya said about Krishna, uh, does Nanda Maharaj now realize that he is God, or is still under the influence of Yoga Maya and
Yeah.
not totally awoke to the reality?
I'm happy that you asked this question. That it seems Nanda Maharaj is registering these words of Karamuni a little different. He thinks, yes, Krishna may be like Narayan, that's fine, but he also concluded from Gagamuni's words, he's your son, because he said he's your son, that and you should take care of him. So he registered it like yes, that he may be not Narayan, but you should never stop giving your love to your son and take care of him. So that's how he registered it. That isn't interesting. That the love for Krishna is more important than understanding his position of God. That's the Vrajavasis. And that makes them so special, because their love for Krishna is supreme, is for them overreaching, it's going above all other things. And that is wonderful. And that is, yes, Yoga Maya certainly helps with that. To put this fact on the background, that so, and interesting, this is another observation. These cowboys, they hear that, and they hear these words of Gargamuni, but it does not diminish their love for Krishna. And that's also interesting. That in Vaikuntha, the Vaikuntha-vasis, their love is on a lower intensity than in Goloka Vrindavan, because they worship Krishna in awe and reverence. So thank you for that question. Chaitanya Premaprabhu, please.
Hare Krishna, Dandava Pranams Maharaj. Glory to your little sweet. Yeah, what I could deduce from the last verse are two. One is that the lack of pride at all. So as devotees, if we are doing anything and we become proud, we should be ready for humiliation. Everyone, from Krishna, as a matter of mercy. That we pray that we'll be matured enough to take it when he gives it to us. So false pride should be done away with at any cost if we really want to be proper devotees. Then secondly, whatever happens to us as devotees, whatever difficulties we are exposed to as devotees, we should never leave Krishna's shelter and go elsewhere looking for some kind of solution, maybe approaching some mystic persons to solve our problems instantly. I mean, losing faith. We should never lose faith in Krishna's protection. So Krishna is actually there for us, and we do the needful when he sees that we are faithful. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Arjun, at one time in Dwarka, when the story of the Brahman and all his children died, and then Arjun made a vow, I will be there with my bow to protect you. If I cannot protect you, I will enter the fire. And he was worshipping Lord Shiva for strength and for protection. And Krishna was there, and he was taking. But what was the result? The child died, and he was going to enter into the fire. And Krishna said, "What are you going to do? We will solve this." And they went together to the coverings of the universe to see Mahavishnu, who took away the children because Mahavishnu wanted to see Krishna. That's an example that Arjuna took shelter of a demigod and then it didn't work out. But this pastime certainly shows that if we take shelter of Krishna, we will be protected. Yes. But for that we have to follow in the mood of the Vrajavasis. Thank you very much, Chaitanya Prema. Mother Prabhupada Priya, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I was thinking that in relation to text 23, there's a general misconception amongst Hindus and scholars that Krishna is an expansion of Vishnu, not that all the other incarnations come from Krishna. And here Nanda Maharaj has the same understanding, that he says Manye Narayanasya Amsha, that Krishna is an empowered expansion of Narayan. So, but it's a little bit maybe misleading or something, because earlier in the Bhagavatam we hear that Krishna is tu Bhagavan Swayam, that all the other, Etat Chamsha Kalam Pumsam, that they're all coming from Krishna.
Yes.
So
that does not only apply to Nanda Maharaj, but all these cowboys, they conclude Krishna must be an avatar, yes. Okay, he's an avatar. That one may say that's not Siddhantic, that's not the right conclusion. But that's how Yoga Maya inspired them to think it's an avatar. So Krishna is as the powers of Narayan. So that was their conclusion. It's interesting that therefore this 10th canto we must have some deeper understanding before of the mood of the Vrajavatis, because also Krishna is promoting Karma-mimamsa philosophy. We think Krishna's words are absolute, but one must see that in the context of the pastime. Otherwise, one will come to the wrong conclusions. Because I was when I went to it in my preparation, I was thinking about the same point. Thank you for bringing that up.
it reminds me of the hermeneutics course, when we take a statement and compare it to Siddhanta. So this is, like you said, one of those that is opposed to Siddhanta.
Yeah. We can say that. Thank you. Mother Kasturica, please.
Maharaj, in the text 1, I also was thinking, Lord Brahma also had the similar confusion whether the Lord is Supreme Lord or he's, seeing his playful activity. He's also confused. But he decided to test Krishna. But here the Brajavasis, they had the similar confusion, but they actually went to Nanda Maharaj to clarify their doubt. And I was thinking how important it is to have the simplicity of the heart rather than just the knowledge, because we may not know. So it's always better to go to the authorities.
Yeah, so they went to the authorities, Nanda Maharaj, and Nanda Maharaj quoted the authority of Kangracharya. So that is true. Yeah. that's more easy. With our intelligence, we cannot solve this. That Mother Prabhupada Priya spoke of the hermeneutic course. The hermeneutic course, one of the tools is also that one sees in oneself to one's motivations, one's own spiritual advancements practically. Because if you are not spiritually advanced, very difficult to understand these things. So we need the mercy of Krishna to understand it. And they are the full mercy of Krishna. But we will see more wonderful things in the next chapter. Because now they have heard, yes, is as good as Narayan. So in the last chapter we will discuss, chapter 28, the Vrajavasis will ask, well, we know you are as good as Narayan, so you can fulfill all our desires. And Krishna will say, oh yes, what do you want? What do you desire? And they desired many things, but finally Krishna showed them Brahman, Vaikuntha, and then Goloka Vrindavan, which is their home. And we will see their reactions. A very interesting pastime. But so this pastime of lifting Govardhan is not ended here. It will continue in the remembrance of the coward boys, coward men. So it will continue also in the next chapter, which we will start tomorrow. I want to ask to finish with a comment of Srila Jiva Goswami on this pastime. So remembering the lifting of Govardhan Hill and all its accompanied features, Nanda Maharaj prayed for the satisfaction of Krishna. May he be pleased with us. So that is what Krishna consciousness means, acting for the satisfaction of Krishna. And I want to finish with reading the commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur on this last verse. Sukadev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, may that Krishna who lifted Govardhan and protected the Vrajavasis from the disturbances caused by hunger, hail and rain arising from Indra's wrath, and who expertly initiated the worship of Govardhan to cut down the demigod's pride, be pleased with us. In the same way, may he who protects you from the lightning bolt curse of Shringi's anger with the essence of the Vedas in the form of this Bhagavat who is expert at starting the sacrifice of listening to the Bhagavatam, and who destroys the pride of the Brahmins, devoid of bhakti, be pleased with us. In this way, by praying for Krishna's mercy, Sukadev Goswami indicates that Maharaj Parikshit should apply this to himself. Sukadev Goswami said, so it seems here that Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur seems to think that this verse is spoken by Sukadev Goswami to inspire Maharaj Parikshit. In this way, by praying for Krishna's mercy, Sukadev Goswami indicates that Maharaj Parikshit should apply this to himself. Sukadev Goswami said, becoming extremely angry over the stopping of his sacrifice, Indra caused torrential rain to inundate Vrindavan. Seeing that the animals, men and women, who are taking shelter of Krishna, shelter of him alone, are severely afflicted with the rain, hail, lightning and wind, Krishna smiled slightly and effortlessly held covered downhill aloft, like a child lifting a mushroom to protect the land of Vrindavan. May the Lord of the cows, Indra Gavam, who destroys Indra's pride, be pleased with you and all the assembled listeners, that's including us. So that's the end of the chapter today. Any further comments? Pavitra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for a wonderful explanation, Maharaj. Maharaj, we have seen all the Vrajavasis, the cows, the cowboy boyfriends of Krishna. They were praying to Krishna that Krishna should protect them and save them. Now coronavirus have taken all over India. Even now our temple is closed. We cannot go to worship Krishna. Even to get food is very difficult. Preaching, everything is going on. What is Krishna doing to lift the northern hill of coronavirus?
Yeah, that there are two sides to that. This coronavirus is also Krishna's mercy. What are aspects of his mercy? I see I'm living in a country and I can see there are no pubs open anymore, no restaurants anymore. The prostitution has gone down to practically nothing. No big events for sense pleasure, that people are forced to live more sober and simple, that many have lost their income, which they would spend otherwise to nonsense, really. I must say, yes, the temple is closed, or things are going on a very reduced level. But there are also other things, that India has become the greatest beef export nation in the world. Killing cows, is Krishna like that? So there may be some reaction, that leaders may become too proud. Krishna does many things at the same time. We don't know, but Krishna conscious means that tenukam pamsala mixmai punshatmai bhatmai baba vipakam vitvakvapudir vidadana masteci vetio muktivate sadaiva. Whatever suffering Krishna gives us is his mercy, that he gives us only a bit. So these are all aspects. If we see the broader picture, we accept this. That, and yes, that when Krishna is going to lift it, that astrology is the science of karma, calculating karma. And many great astrologers said it's the dance between Jupiter and Saturn, going up and down. That when Saturn or Jupiter becomes retrograde and Saturn goes up, and it's like a dance. And by that you have a first wave, it's going better, we think we are there, and then the second wave comes, and then the third wave. There will be a fourth wave, a fifth wave, a sixth wave, a seventh wave. They say till 2026, astrologers. This dance is going on. So things may improve, but we should not think of this is going to go away. Not very quickly. I think that is an observation, and people, Krishna wants them to get their karma. That's justice. But hopefully he protects his devotees as much as possible. But he protects his devotees, for sure. But he may also protect them to take them away and use them at another place. We don't see the whole picture, but Krishna sees the whole picture. But by studying the Bhagavatam, we get faith. This is Krishna's will, and we accept it. Whatever Krishna wants, good or bad, it is mercy. Mother Prabhupada Kriya, what do you think?
Thank you, Maharaj. You give me fearlessness, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Raj, I was just going to ask if you could explain again the analogy that's comparing text 25, where Shukadeva Goswami is comparing the statement here to Maharaj Parikshit's situation. What I got was that just as the Vrajavasis had been afflicted by the rainstorm of the enraged Indra, so Parikshit was also afflicted by the curse of the angry Brahmin Shringi.
Yeah.
There was another part to it that you said.
Yes, that's mentioned in the Srila Vishwanath Bhakti Thakur. By praying for Krishna's mercy, Shukadeva Goswami indicates that Maharaj Parikshit should apply this to himself. That praying to Krishna's mercy. Without His mercy, we cannot make spiritual advancement, because we need mercy to purify our heart. Tesham evanakam bhaktamam agyanacham tamanasacham atma bhavashtakan panabhashvat. Krishna gives us this buddhi yoga, this realization to the heart. So we hear the Bhagavatam and so on, but it's not just Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit means us praying to the Bhagavatam, to Lord Krishna, to please give us your mercy. We are not on the level of this film, of Vrajavasis, who have love for Krishna. So he protects them, and he will protect also. Srila Prabhupada says the condition is one must be sincere. And what is a problem of becoming sincere? It's our false ego. And that we will hear in the next chapter. How we destroy the false ego of Indra. And that's also, will also be a chapter to meditate on and pray to Krishna, please destroy our false ego. Help us to make spiritual advancement. So yes, it's a short sentence in that comment of Srila Vishwanath Bhakti Thakur, but an important point. What do you think? Prabhupada Priya?
Yeah, I think it's very nice. I was thinking that, yeah, we're also afflicted by so many disturbances here in the material world, and so, yeah, we need to really pray to Krishna, not only for shelter, but that, like you said, that he frees us from this false ego, because the reason we suffer is because we identify with all these external factors.
Yeah.
But actually, they don't have anything to do with us.
Hmm.
Our real life is something else.
Yeah, this is a very, very deep reflection. By reading these commentaries of the spiritual acharyas, they see and they share with us the lessons that we can learn also. But, thank you for sharing that. Good. Then we are at the end of the session today, and tomorrow we will hear about Lord Indra, and he will bring Mother Surabi with him. Because that was the advice of Brahma, because Lord Indra is in trouble. And we are also in trouble. So we can learn from this past and tomorrow. Thank you very much. Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.